Hi guys, welcome back to Tiny Toys Review. Today we're gonna have bedtime story. And the first story is from the book called Moon. Moon. And the story goes like this. Not many people realize that the moon is alive. It is proud. It watches us and hears our sounds. Max's dad had to leave home to sail far, far away. "Dad, I miss you," Max said over the phone. "Son, we can still share things," said his father. "When the day comes to an end, go stare at the sky," Daddy said. As dusk approached, Max could have sworn he heard someone thinking aloud. Soon, the moon thought, soon, soon the sun will go down. Max watched the sun set, then heard the moon whisper, "Now, now, I have waited. Now it's my time. Watch me rise, watch me rise. Look at me shine." And the moon, it glowed. It spread its moods. Look at that. It shone all over the land. It touched everything it could see. Look at the owl. It gave warming, frosty moments to anything that looked up. Filled river mist. It created moments that last forever, that have no time. It watched, it reached out and sang beautiful, silent songs that had no words. It gave a small boy called Max the exact same view his father had in another land. "See? How can we be far apart if we are looking at the one thing?" said Max's father. "We are in the same place after all." And the moon, it smiled and didn't smile and made whatever face you wanted to see in it. It worked its way through the silent night. Cats hunted, trees stood still, marsupials ran and hid. A small boy fell asleep knowing what his father knew. And the moon was in love with the world. That's the end of the story. The next story is Charlie's first night. And the story goes like this. It was snowing that night, and Charlie wanted me to carry him home. So I carried him all the way home. I carried him in my old baby blanket, which was soft and midnight blue, and we were new together, and I was very, very careful not to sleep in the snow, and I thought about his name. I was the one who thought up his name, Charlie, Charlie Corn. My name is Henry, Henry Corn. "This is home." That's what I told Charlie when we got home. And I showed him all the rooms, including my room. I showed him my bed and the place where my mother hides your birthday present when it's the day before your birthday. "This is home, Charlie." I said that a lot so Charlie would know he was home. My mother, Mrs. Corn, and my father, Mr. Corn, were pretty clear about who would be in charge of walking Charlie. I would be in charge of walking Charlie, they said, and I couldn't wait to walk Charlie every day forever. They were pretty clear about who would be in charge of feeding Charlie. I would be in charge of feeding Charlie, they said, and I couldn't wait to feed Charlie every day forever. They were also pretty clear about where Charlie would be sleeping. Charlie would be sleeping in the kitchen, they said, and I thought about Charlie in the kitchen alone every night forever. Charlie wants to sleep in my room, I said. Charlie will be sleeping in the kitchen, they said. We fixed up a pillow bed for Charlie in the kitchen, under the table where the heat comes up, and I put my old bear Bobo in the pillow bed for Charlie, and I thought about how I used to sleep with Bobo every night. I put my small red clock between Charlie and Bobo. Tick-tock, tick-tock, like another little heartbeat in the night. Charlie curled up in a ball and I put my face next to his, and I waited for Charlie to fall asleep. And I thought about how my mother and father sometimes used to wait for me to fall asleep. And soon Charlie fell asleep. He made a soft breathing sound, and his soft breathing sound made me sleepy too. I went to my room and sat up in my bed and looked out the window, and snow was falling over the city and the park and the trees in the park, and I thought about playing with Charlie in the park in the snow. The crying started in the middle of the night, and you knew right away it was Charlie. Don't cry, Charlie, don't cry. I ran to the kitchen and scooped him and held him close in my strong arms, and he shivered. Slowly we walked around the house, and I showed him my room again and my bed. I showed him my mother and father sound asleep in their bed, and held Charlie close in my strong arms. After a while, I put Charlie in his pillow bed and rubbed his tummy, and Charlie smiled the way a friend smiles when you say, "Hey, let's be friends forever." I rubbed his back and the soft place behind his ears, and he was really sleepy. And the moon made its own light that night in the kitchen, right near Charlie. "Night, Charlie," I said. "Night, Charlie boy." A long time later, I heard crying again, and I flew out of the bed to Charlie. "Don't cry, Charlie, don't cry." I scooped him up and held him close in my strong arms, and he shivered. I showed him how the moon made its own light in the kitchen that night. "The moon did it for you," I told Charlie, and he licked my nose and it tickled. Slowly, we walked around the house again, and I showed him my room again. Charlie wanted me to put him on my bed, so I put him on my bed and thought about how my mother and father were pretty clear about where Charlie should not sleep. Charlie wanted me on my bed, so I lay down on the bed next to Charlie, and we looked in each other's eyes. Charlie has brown eyes and mine are green, and I told him we could be best friends if he wants, and Charlie looked in my eyes and I looked in his. "I love you, Charlie boy." That's what I told Charlie. We didn't mean to fall asleep, but we both fell asleep on my bed. Look at that. And that's exactly where we slept all through the night on Charlie's first night. Oh, that's very nice. It's very nice when you love your pet. And that's the end of the story. The next story is The Smallest Bilby and the Midnight Star. And the story goes like this. Every night, the smallest Bilby in the Bilby patch sat under the midnight sky to watch the stars. He loved them all, every single one of them. But the one he loved best was the smallest one, which hung close to the edge of the sky. Every night he reached up to her, and she shone down on him. But she was so very far away. Sometimes I'm scared that she won't be there, the smallest Bilby said after a long, hard Bilby busy day. He stretched his arms out wide and cold. I love you, star. I love you best of all. The star shone down, an especially bright shine. See, said the oldest Bilby in the Bilby patch. She loves you too. And for a little while, from the time it took the moon to wander from the low side of the hill to the high side of the hill, the smallest Bilby felt better. But when a passing cloud hit the star from a view, he grew frightened all over again. What if she goes away and forgets me and never ever comes back? He said. She'll be there, said the oldest Bilby. She always comes back. The star hurried out from behind the cloud and beamed down on him, splashing his whiskers with starlight and brushing his ears with silver. But the smallest Bilby could only think of the midnight sky without his star. I need to give her something, he said. Something to make her remember me forever and always. I know, he called out to the star. I'll give you a kiss. He stretched up on tiptoe and tried to kiss her, but he just wasn't tall enough. Wasn't that a kiss? Asked one of the Bilby. Not yet, said the smallest Bilby, but it soon will be. He stood on a rock on the top of the hill and opened his arms wide and reached up high, but he still couldn't reach. So he set off to fetch another rock, and then another. The star shone down, leading the smallest Bilby from one star shiny rock to the next. What are you doing? Asked the oldest Bilby. We know, said the little ones. He is building a case. You can't build a case, said the oldest Bilby with a smile. He can, sang the little ones, and so can we. One by one, two by two, three by three, the little Bilbies of the Bilby patch joined in, fetching and carrying, lifting and pushing each star shiny rock all the way up to the top of the hill. And high above them the stars shone down from the fading night sky. Little by little, rock by rock, the kiss grew higher and higher and bigger and rounder and fatter until it almost touched the sky. Are we there yet? Asked the little Bilbies. Are we? Are we? Almost, said the smallest Bilby. That's not a kiss, said the oldest Bilby in the Bilby patch. No, said the smallest Bilby as he climbed from one star-dappled rock to another. This is a kiss. And opening his arms wide enough to hold the whole heavens, he reached up on tiptoe and kissed the smallest star at the edge of the dawn sky. Mwah! All the Bilbies in the Bilby patch caught their breath. Not a whisker or a nose twitch. The little star grew bigger and bigger and brighter until the desert glowed with the colors of the morning sky, and the rocks on top of the hill blazed gold and purple and crimson. She sparkled on the pools in the riverbed until they flashed like glass beads. She dusted the tops of the spinifex with copper. She danced above the little bilbies in the bilby patch and tickled their tummies with starshine. And then she shone her deepest, clearest light right onto the smallest bilby of all. Oh, look at that, said the little bilbies. She won't forget you now, whispered the oldest bilby in the bilby patch. And I'll remember her, said the smallest bilby, forever and always. And that's the end of the story. Thank you guys for watching and listening to the bedtime stories about the moon, Charlie's first night, and the smallest Bilby and the midnight star. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you have a good night's sleep. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more fun videos. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye bye. Mwah.